As you all know, yesterday was my mother's birthday, and it was a very different day, time, and year for me. I just couldn't move past, y'all. I did cook dinner, just trying to, find my way through. And I thank you all for the texts and calls, and thank you for all the love, all of you. Thank you. I love y'all sincerely. So real quick, while I'm doing this video, so my husband had made it home from work, and he saw the mood that I was in, and he really turned things around with playing some music, and it changed my mood. And at some point, he asked me that I want to go and look for some doors because we had decided to do some home improvement from well, I had talked about it since the springtime. And I talked about changing out our doors. And so he said, well, go to Lowe's or, Home Depot and look at some doors and get some ideas and let me know, what you've seen or come across. So me and Sapphire, we decided to go. And of course, as y'all know, my mind was not on any doors. But we ran across a really nice salesperson that was there, and he was very knowledgeable with his area. And he took out the time and, talking about the doors. But again, I thanked him, but my mind was not on those doors. So we walked on through the store, looking at a few things here and there. And at some point, I called my baby sister up and we FaceTime. And I said, girl, look, I found this item. It was in the middle of the aisle in the store. So I went and asked the girl who was there, was this item for sale? And she said, yeah, it's for sale as is. And so I'm going to show y'all this item that I picked up. It was $3.98. If anybody knows me, they know I love knickknacks. I like decorating. I just like putting things together, I'll take what you think is trash, and for me, it becomes treasure. So, I grabbed this right here, y'all. It was labeled and priced for $3.98. The girl said as is. So I knew I needed it because we had one in the corner, but it had done it. It had already, I had it for a while. And I said, I need this. We go get in line, and the store is closing. We're now probably at approximately like 8:30ish, 8:48, somewhere in there. Well, this one man who was at a register, he got out of his lane, and he walked toward me and Sapphire with his scanner. Well, to my understanding, or I thought from my eye, he was coming to scan this item. No. He came and took it out of Sapphire's hand and said, this is not for sale, in that tone. He took it, he put it to the side, and he snatched off the tag that was on there, a yellow tag, and he walked away. People were not trying to look, at us. A few did turn their heads. I didn't know at that moment, like, should I or should I not? Because, I'm still in that moment, it was my mother's birthday, and I just couldn't move past. So we walked out the line, we went outside, and we stood at the doors, at the exit doors. I think I was still in disbelief of what had happened and how he had, really done this to me with my child. I called up my baby sister, and she said, put me on a speakerphone. If anybody knows, speakerphone, when it comes to the black family, we may say anything at any given time on a speakerphone, for real, in our households. She said, go back in there, go to customer service, and we're going to talk to a manager. I won't release their names, for the sake of their identity, but the man at the customer service, thank you for what you done. Thank you for being so compassionate. He understood. He said, this item was not for sale, and I'm sorry. And the tag that was on there was actually for another product, but you can have it. I have to ring it up. And he did, y'all, for $2. That same man came back and said, what are you doing? To the manager. He said, I'm giving it to her. You are? He said, yes. It's hers. And he said, and so he looked at me, and I finally said, You gonna make me do it? And he said, do what? I said, you gonna make me do it. But I laid it down. I left it alone. I told the manager, I said, I tell you what, you can handle this. I don't know what angered that employee to the point that he was so livid about this. I don't know, was the anger, was it my skin that angered him? Did he want this item? I don't know what it was at that moment, but what I do know, listen here, or was it my anointing? Was it my presence, me just being there? Whatever the case may have been, I thank God for my baby sister Nina for stepping up and advocating on my behalf with intelligence, but she served notice. I love you. That little Taurus girl, she ain't no punk by far. And when it comes to her big sister, she will go there. She knows, like I told the man, I'm normally mouthy, and I'll do it. I didn't have it in me. I thank God that I allowed God to move on my behalf. We have to stay prayed up. We are in a pandemic. Racism is still at hand. The color of my skin shouldn't threaten you. The color of my skin shouldn't anger you. Oh my goodness. But thank God for favor. Thank God for grace and mercy. And look, y'all, $2. And he didn't even want to charge me for it, but he had to do his, it was protocol and do his job. Peace.